Welcome back to our channel where we share updates and untold stories about Catherine, Princess of Wales, and her royal family. Today we bring you some news. King Charles's final decision over Princess Eugenie's royal role left Camilla in tears. An announcement has said that King Charles has given his approval for Princess Eugenie to take on a new royal role that is particularly surprising. This causes Queen Camilla to get quite enraged because of the choice, a timeless scene for the beginning of a new chapter. The Garrison Chapel in Chelsea, a Gothic revival masterpiece steeped in military history, offered an appropriate background for Princess Eugenie's most recent royal attempt. On the 22nd of May 2024, the princess, who was 35 years old at the time, stood radiantly in the midst of a circle of 35 young innovators. Her grin reflected both her own personal pride and the objective of the institution. The look of this king was anything but typical in her position as the recently announced mentor for King Charles's 35 Under 35 project, which is a flagship program marking the 35th anniversary of the King's Foundation. Eugenie's participation indicated a conscious move into the charity circle of her uncle, a monarch who was keen to unite tradition with modern action. The occasion was replete with important meanings. In the past, the chapel served as a place of prayer for the household cavalry. Nevertheless, it is currently the location of a meeting that includes social entrepreneurs, craftsmen, and climate activists. Her posture was a combination of royal majesty and accessible charm, and she mingled with awardees in a warm and friendly manner while wearing an emerald green gown that had been customized to her body. This moment was a reclaiming for a princess who has often negotiated the shadows of her family's issues. It was an opportunity for her to reframe her narrative via engagement in service, artistic endeavors, and sustainable practices. However, underneath the polished surface of this public debut was a complicated tapestry of palace relationships, generational upheavals, and the shifting role of the monarchy in a contemporary world that is fraught with conflict. This piece, the new task that Eugenie has taken on, the strategic vision that King Charles has for the future, and the undercurrents of conflict and ambition that are shaping royal life in the present day. Harmony and innovation are the legacy that the King's Foundation has left behind. The King's Foundation, which was first established in 1990 as the Prince's Foundation, has been the expression of Charles's philosophical and environmental worldview for a very long time. As a result of his conviction that people, places, and the planet must dwell in harmony. The charitable organization has developed from a specialized architectural conservator into a force that encompasses a wide range of disciplines. The educational division of the company, for example, educates 1,000 students each year in the areas of sustainable design, historical crafts, and community-led development. This combined dedication to ecological care and cultural preservation is shown in Charles's participation in programs such as the Traditional Building Craft Fellowship and the Urban Farming Initiative. Following Charles's succession in 2023, the renaming of the organization to the King's Foundation was more than just a semantic modification. The monarchy was to be positioned as a catalyst for systemic change, which was a greater mission that was shown by this. This change is shown by the 35 Under 35 campaign, which was initiated to celebrate the anniversary of the founding of the organization. The program connects with Charles's lifetime activism by highlighting young leaders in industries ranging from regenerative agriculture to ethical fashion. At the same time, it appeals to a generation that is struggling with climate fear and cultural displacement. Dan Lim, who serves as the chairperson of the charity, referred to the program as a living testament to the King's belief in intergenerational collaboration. It is a monument to the monarchy's continuing cultural capital that there were over 500 candidates competing for the 35 available places. A neurodiverse artist who is recreating medieval stonemasonry skills is one of the honors. Other honors include a marine scientist who is 22 years old and is researching procedures for restoring coral reefs, a textile cooperative and its founder, who is 19 years old, and a zero-waste textile cooperative. Charles's vision is defined by the junction of innovation and tradition, and each of them exemplifies that relationship. In the realm of art and activism, Eugenie serves as a royal bridge. The mentoring that Princess Eugenie is receiving is both a return to her roots and a new beginning for her. Through her position as director of Howard and Worth, a famous contemporary art gallery that has locations in London, Somerset, and other worldwide cities, she has established a reputation for being an arts professional who is both knowledgeable and hands-on. Her work there, which includes mentoring UPenn coming artists and curating shows, fits in well with the Foundation's emphasis on the preservation of cultural traditions. However, her activism goes beyond the realm of galleries. Eugenie has been a strong advocate for sustainable living ever since she had her wedding in 2018, which was a milestone affair that prohibited the use of single-use plastics and chose flowers that were local and that were in season. Motherhood has increased the intensity of these duties. Through interviews, she has been open and honest about her determination to fight climate change for the benefit of her kids, August, who is 4 years old, and Nest, who will be due in May of 2024. In the year 2023, she expressed her desire to her children that they would inherit a world in which trees still exist and seas are not choked by rubbish. Her combination of idealism and practicality is further shown by the fact that she was one of the co-founders of the Anti-Slavery Collective in 2017. Over £2 million has been collected by the project, which collaborates with non-governmental organizations, NOS, and enterprises to prevent human trafficking. Additionally, thousands of survivors have been empowered via vocational training. Because she is both a member of the royal family and a working mother, Eugenie has a platform that is unlike any other. She maintains a job in addition to her royal obligations, which is a dichotomy that is well received by contemporary audiences. Her relatives, on the other hand, are dependent on the sovereign grant. The royal biographer Ingrid Seward makes the observation that she is relatable in a way that many senior royals are not. That she is the obstacles that she has are comparable to those that are faced by other working parents. Her life is not a secluded one of talent comprised of the 35 under 35 cohort. The first class of 35 under 35 presents a list of G and Z pioneers that reads like a who's who of the generation. One of them is through the use of immersive storytelling. Jack Harry's a filmmaker who is 31 years old and has a YouTube channel that has 12 million followers demystifies climate science. A BIFT was awarded to him for his documentary Drowning Sands 2022, which investigated the process of coastal erosion in Bangladesh. A Nigerian-British agronomist named Zahara Adem, who is 24 years old, is a pioneer in the development of drought-resistant crops for sub-Sahara and Africa. Leah Chen, a genius who is just 17 years old, and who has the idea for a biodegradable glitter derived from algae that is already being utilized by Glastonbury Festival. Theo Randall, a skilled stonemason who is 29 years old, is restoring the medieval front of York Minster with hand tools. The Foundation's dedication to inclusiveness is shown in the diverse composition of the cohort, of whom 40% originate from low-income families and 50% identify as belonging to ethnic minorities. It was in her speech of announcement that Eugenie made the following observation. These young people are not just the now. The world is already being reshaped by them, and it is an honor for me to be able to travel with them. It is important to note that mentoring is a two-way street. A conversation between people of different generations is encouraged by the Foundation via the matching of awardees with notables such as Eugenie, designer Dr. Samuel Ross, who was nominated for the Turner Prize in 2024, and historian Alice Loxton. One of Eugenie's primary responsibilities is to make the art industry, which is infamous for its discriminatory practices, more accessible to younger creatives. Christina Murin, the chief executive officer of the organization, is quoted as saying, "Access to galleries, patrons, and curators can make or break an artist." The knowledge of Eugenie contributes to the leveling of the playing field, the unseen hand of Camilla, and intrigue at the palace. But there are certain things that aren't in harmony inside the confines of Buckingham Palace. A subplot involving Queen Camilla, whose apparent uneasiness with her stepdaughter-in-law's burgeoning status shows deeper tensions, will be shown to be the driving force behind Eugenie's rise to prominence within the royal fringe for a considerable amount of time. Laura Lopes, who is 45 years old and a well-respected art curator, as well as the co-founder of the Lopes Gallery in Mayfair, has been working. Although Camilla has allowed Laura to participate in casual occasions such as attending the king's coronation and accompanying Camilla to an unveiling at the National Gallery in May, Laura does not have an official position. It is believed by many with knowledge of the royal family that Camilla secretly advocated for Laura to be included in the 35 under 35 mentoring program, noting her skill in the arts. It was stated that the request was denied owing to the fact that Laura is not a member of the royal family. According to the explanation of one source, the foundation required mentors who possessed both influence and institutional credibility. The public platform that Laura commands is not comparable to that of a titled royal, although she is a great curator. According to reports, Camilla's relationship with the York family has been tense as a result of this perceived snub. It is well known that the Queen Consort has a tense relationship with Prince Andrew, the father of Princess Eugenie. She was not present for the wedding of Princess Eugenie in 2018. Claiming a previous obligation to a school function in Scotland. The rejection was regarded as a rebuke of Andrew's continuing legal and reputational troubles. Palace officials denied that there was any argument between them. Because of this, Eugenie's new job runs the danger of rekindling old rivalries. Camilla is a master strategist who is aware that being close to the Queen is a source of prestige. She is also very protective of lineage. An observer in the courtroom was quoted as saying she has fought hard to legitimize her place in this family. Is it possible that Eugenie, who has been tied to two scandals, Andrew and Harry, is gaining traction? It hurts a lot. Spares to strategic assets, the York sisters' transformation over time. The mentoring relationship between Eugenie and Princess Beatrice sheds insight on the progression of the latter's function. Both of the York daughters have expanded their public activities since Charles's coronation. None of them is considered a working royal. It was only in the spring of 2024 that they went to events like the Chelsea Flower Show, Easter services at Windsor, and a garden party at Buckingham Palace. These were all occasions that demonstrated their dependability and popular appeal. This peaceful reunion is in line with Charles's desire to strengthen a monarchy that has become thinner as a result of the departures of Harry and Andrew. It is more cost-effective. The slimmed-down strategy has resulted in gaps in regional outreach and specialized patronages. Into the picture come Eugenie and Beatrice, who are youthful, well-versed in the media, and unburdened by the burden of succession. They are the monarchy's special forces jokes. Katie Nicholl, a pundit associated with the royal family, deployed strategically to causes that need a boost, such as environmental activism, the arts, and youth engagement, without the overhead of full-time royals. As a result, the shadow of their father hangs. Both the $16 million settlement that Andrew received in his sexual assault case 2022 and the fact that he continues to dwell at Royal Lodge continue to be lightning rods. Even if they are disapproving of his acts, Eugenie and Beatrice are walking a tightrope since they are supporting the crown, but at the same time distancing themselves from his faults. Because of this, Charles's choice to engage Eugenie is not only a reward for their faithfulness, but it also serves as a statement that the family places a higher value on redemption than they do on blood relationships. In his explanation, constitutional scholar Dr. Robert Lacey notes that Charles's embrace of Eugenie creates a barrier between the daughter and her father. It's a masterclass in royal diplomacy, punishing Andrew without alienating his children, said the royal. The public reaction: applause, skepticism, and the branding of the royal family. It has been a fascinating contrast to see how people have responded to Eugenie's appointment. Over 300,000 people liked her post on Instagram, which announced the job, and her followers praised her genuine passion and her ability to connect with others. This is what one commenter had to say about her: "She's not just a pretty face. She works for a living." There were some individuals who made positive similarities to Princess Kate, pointing out that Eugenie has a strong professional background in the arts. Opponents, on the other hand, questioned the meritocratic nature of the nomination, public relations stunt to make the monarchy appear woke. As an alternative to selected tokens, why not tutor genuine children from working-class families? This kind of criticism is reflective of wider discussions about the usefulness of the monarchy in a period of unprecedented inequality. Royal historians provided views that were more nuanced. Dr. Ed Owens, a historian of Queen Elizabeth, I lauded the program for its modernizing impulse, but he warned against overestimating the York sisters' level of dedication to the cause. Since Eugenie is a skilled curator, the question is whether or not she will prioritize above her day job. In her ability to follow through, the evidence will be found. In the meanwhile, the media has been obsessed with the relationship between Meghan Markle and the royal family. At the beginning of the year 2021, Meghan began her 40x40 mentorship effort with the purpose of empowering women. Eugenie openly endorsed this initiative. As a result of the similarities, there has been conjecture that Charles's team is borrowing Meghan's script, which is a concept that palace insiders completely reject as saying mentorship is not her invention. The Prince's Trust has been acting in this manner for many years. How the monarchy acts as a force multiplier in the bigger picture. Eugenie's job representation of Charles's overarching aim, the crown as a convener rather than a relic. This approach is a reflection of his activism for the environment, in which he works more as a worldwide cheerleader for climate solutions than as a policy wonk. During this time, the King's Foundation is transformed into a vehicle for the continuation of the dynasty. In the same way that Queen Elizabeth II progressively passed on her several to younger members of the royal family, Charles is preparing Eugenie to be the custodian of his legacy. Is it possible that she may one day lead the foundation? It is premature according to the sources, but it is not unfathomable. In a politically precarious period, the move helps to strengthen the subtle reprimand to Harry and a hint to William. His successor Charles sends the message that devotion is rewarded by bringing Eugenie to the forefront of the conversation. In addition, it appeases Sarah Ferguson, whose ecstatic social media adulation for Eugenie, "My daughter is lighting up the world," contributes to the perpetuation of the tripod narrative of maternal and royal duty. Putting the monarchy in conclusion, the mentoring relationship between Princess Eugenie and the monarchy is more than just a philanthropic assignment. It is a predictor of the future of the monarchy. Charles recognizes in her connection between different ages she is a princess who embraces the traditions of the crown while also embracing the urgency of contemporary problems. Nevertheless, her trip is plagued with complexities, including a step's jealousy, a father's dishonor, and a public that is always on the lookout for embarrassing mistakes. The real test starts when Eugenie begins to meet with her mentees, during which she will be holding seminars on environmentally responsible art methods and connecting emerging designers with gallery clients Will her participation spark, or will it become less of a headline? The answer will not only determine her legacy, but it will also determine the capacity of the monarchy to remain relevant in a society that is eager for authenticity. At its conclusion, the story of 35 under 35 is a metaphor for the power of hope. It suggests that even institutions as old as the Crown are capable of adapting, that families are capable of reconciling, and that the most audacious ideas of the next generation might just be nurtured by the most unlikely of mentors, a princess who has a passion for art, a commitment to the planet, and the quiet resolve to redefine her place in history. Thank you for watching the video. Please let us know your thoughts, and goodbye for now.